What up, my man in society? It is your host with the most, Shadowloke, back at you with another video. Now, make sure you guys hit the like, the subscribe. It's free. It don't cost anything. You help my channel get into the algorithm. I would highly appreciate it, That's how you guys will truly help me get into the algorithm. Now, what I wanted to talk about was the truth about the internet. Right positivity versus negativity. A lot of, individuals, who come on the internet, especially, like on my other channel, they always talk about what they consider positivity to be and what should be spoken about on the internet. But truth of the matter is that people just don't want to hear positivity on the internet. On the internet, they come on the internet to be entertained and to escape reality, right? What's the saying? Nobody wants to be lectured, especially on your free will, on your free time. And that's truth of the matter, especially by an individual who they feel like they have no merit on to lecture them. You get what I'm saying? And a majority of, subscribers, who are tuned into, let's say, the prison genre, the gang genre, street genre, channels, related to any of that, don't want to be, talking about something that in which they live by, because the majority of people that watch this content is not street related themselves, meaning that they don't commit crimes and they don't do stuff like that. So why would they want to hear somebody speak on a way of life that they already know? Because that is the majority of the audience, are law-abiding citizens. So why would they want to watch somebody speak about something in which they already know? The reason they found your channel and are tuning into your channel and commenting the negative comments that they're putting is what lured them in, is the negativity talk, the gang talk, prison talk, and all that. That's how they found your channel, and that's why they tuned in. Now, why they chose to leave the comment that they, chose to leave, like why you're speaking about this and what they will, is beyond me. It baffles me. It's like, well, why are you watching somebody or a channel in which you don't agree with their ideology or their way of life or, points of views, when you could just because you have that free will. No one's forcing you to watch channels, so you could just move on, so it's baffling why they choose to still watch and engage and all that. To be honest with you, I don't know why it's done. Maybe, there is people that just like arguing or like stressing people out. Maybe they feel like they're doing some justice because these people have, bullied and harassed, regular civilians, that now is like, how you like it now if someone starts trolling you or, now making it harder for you. Sorry, it's nighttime, my work. So now applying the same tactics in which they see fit. Which is, petty, because now it's like you're being no better than what they were doing. Like if you hate these individuals, for this and that, like why are you gonna stoop to their level though? It makes no sense. I thought you were above that. Now it makes you more better than that individual. No more, now it's like you're both petty. You hold yourself to higher standards. It's what separates you two. You know what I mean? So when you start doing their tactics, is now you have lowered yourself to that level. So now you guys are just the same, in the petty stuff in which you do. Doesn't make you better. And that's the cold-hearted truth. You know what I mean? But see, individuals don't see it that way, right? Because they think as long as I don't belong to set organizations that I'm better than these individuals. When you don't have to belong to gangs or stuff like that in order to be a bad person or to be a negative person and stuff like that. There's negative people in everyday, life and everyday careers in churches and law enforcement and all that. Negativity and bad behaviors is not immune to a certain, set of individuals. It could be, in every walks of life. You could have doctors that are this way, lawyers, priests, and all that. Because manipulation is a tool that a lot of individuals know how to use, something you don't have to get educated for and stuff like that, especially when behaviors like that are not regulated, when they're youths, it tends to become their persona, right? because they've been using these tactics throughout their whole life, that they already know how it works. They don't need to be educated. They have everyday experience, to show them that this is all they have to do in order to weasel their way around stuff. It's very important to be a parent. So when it comes to the internet, right, when they see an individual talking like that, even if an individual was to come on here and give positivity, right, like give a positive message, or switch his message around, you're still gonna have a group of individuals who are gonna think that this individual is not being sincere. This is one of the many cons and many tricks, because they already have their mindset on how individuals are. So they will consider their advice or their sincere, like being sincere, all of that as a gimmick. It's a lie. It's an act. It's just for them to get money on YouTube. It's all bullcrap. They don't really believe it. So you're never gonna win, regardless, because individuals are gonna have their mindset already. And truth be told is that some individuals do kind of like that. You know what I mean? Because you can clearly tell, because actions speak louder than words. Individuals can see their own errors, but other individuals can see it. It's a video, you're being watched. So you can see when individuals are just lying, because going based off just their behaviors throughout, you watching the videos, you could tell how they contradict themselves, or how, they could be misleading, and etc. There's people that pay attention to stuff. So it's able to see it. While you have other individuals who don't pay attention to details, that's why they can't see it. And that's why there's always a clash of opinions in the comments. You have individuals that can see it and individuals that can't see it. So therefore, there's bickering back and forth. Because at the end of the day, it's everyone's opinion on how they want to see it. To try to convince people is ridiculous. If that's how individuals want to see it, that's how they want to see it. That's the way it is. That's how they want to live it. So even if you do come and spread positivities, it's a good chance that a lot of people are not going to believe it, and still be criticizing and grilling and stuff like that. So if the motive is, for success or to build your own self up and stuff like that, then positivity will probably be not the best way to go about it. You know what I mean? And I'm just being honest about it, because a majority of people are not going to tune in. Because they want to, they want to learn, or, see something that's out of their norm, something that they're not used to. Now, don't confuse educational channel or somebody that's teaching individuals how to do something for a positive channel, because they're not preaching positivity. They're just giving out knowledge, or showing individuals how to do something that they don't know how to do already. It's two different things: a positive message compared to an educational one. And individuals, I guess, they can't see that, or they can't separate the two, right? So while they think like, oh, why don't you just talk about this and this and that? Well, that's not positivity. That's actually educational. But it's two different messages, But see, people, can't separate the two. They're not speaking positivity. They're speaking education, But people are going to want to speak on what they know, and what, and you may not like it, but there's a fan base for it, What best way to tackle a problem? By getting to know the problem, the ins and outs, the true ins and outs of the problem, not something that, somebody's biased opinion, or somebody's, how how they want to choose to see it, even though it's not the real way. And that's the reason why these problems haven't gotten fixed, because people rather not listen to, what these individuals have to say, and instead go on their opinions. And that's why this problem still hasn't gotten fixed. And I could only be, honest about it, You want to get to know a problem. Why do you think therapists, law enforcement, and all that sit down with serial killers and people like this? They must get to learn the mind state, their mental, and all that in order to, train the police officers on how to find these individuals. You must learn the problem in order to tackle the problem. But if you don't want to listen, and you don't want to sit down and actually learn, and you just want to go based off of what you think, your ego, then the problem's never going to get fixed. And all you're doing is spreading false lies, spreading your propaganda. And the reason why this problem's not getting fixed, because a majority of individuals think like you. They rather not listen. What better way to tackle a problem than to listen? You get what I mean? That's the true nature. And now people may not like it. Like, damn, that's unfair that these individuals who have lived wrongly their whole entire life, could get more, success, riches, fame, whatever you want to call it, compared to a law-abiding citizen, somebody who's been, living the right way by the book and has an actual job and everything like that. Yeah, he's struggling and everything. It's unfair. That's the reason why it takes away at them. So this is not about, the message, the positivity. This is about your point of view on that is not fair that I have lived, the right way and you haven't, and now you are, getting all the other, but it's like, but are you not seeing that they're preaching positive? They're not preaching the negativity that they were, out in the streets doing, though. Is this what you wanted, right? Isn't this what you were hoping for and stuff like that? But no, you're still gonna hold the past against an individual. So who's really being the petty one? Where is the bias at? We can't let our emotions, dictate, how we should, react and stuff like that. It's never good. It's if something's for the better, despite how you feel about an individual, it's like, you put your feelings to the side. If it's for the betterment. But if you rather just keep the chaos going and stuff like that, just because, of your, your biasness, I mean, then how is progress going to happen that way? Every bad has a little bit of good. Every good has a little bit of bad. It's the way the world is. The balance, whether people choose to accept it or like it or not. You know what I mean? But overall, in general, people just really are not tuning in, to hear lectures by somebody who they probably, don't believe is being sincere, or hearing something in which they already know. So while individuals, are like they're saying that you should, talk about this and leave this and that. Well, if that channel is successful and is having success going based off of, this was their formula, then why would they change that? I mean, the only reason why they got all those amount of subscribers and following was because they were speaking about this subject. So why would they now completely change the whole course of their channel if this is the only reason why people subscribed in the first place? This is why the numbers keep growing and elevating. So why all of a sudden would they change that, though? And think that success will come, because of it, or completely speak about stuff in which they have no knowledge about. It's the reason why I have my channel and I made this channel, because I could speak on stuff in which I like. The other stuff is stuff that I live. It's how I live. It's my life. What I known in my whole entire life. This is what I actually like, speaking about and breaking down and stuff like that. So it's still subjects in which I know about, in both channels. But it's like if somebody were to tell me, why don't you talk about being an accountant and stuff like that, it's like, well, but I have no knowledge about that. Why would I speak on something in which I don't know? You know what I mean? But that's how I see it, at least. These are just my opinions. What are your opinions on the topic? Go ahead and leave it in the comments. And Shadow, we out.